What is going on, IF Warriors? It's your boy Edward V, and today we're going to talk about warrior diet efficiency for maximum weight loss. Stay tuned. Okay guys, if you love doing the warrior diet as your #1 intermittent fasting protocol, which is 20 hours fasting and 4 hours eating, well, I'm going to show you how to make that process as efficient as possible so you can lose as much weight as possible using the warrior diet. Now, the warrior diet is my favorite protocol because it encompasses being as powerful as possible with the diet and allowing anyone to come in and do it for the rest of their lives without giving it much thought. Go a little bit less than the warrior diet and you're not being as efficient as possible with lowering your insulin and keeping it low. Go a little bit further than the warrior diet and then you start to tread into territory where it may not be sustainable for the rest of your life, or it may be scary for you to even start doing it to begin with. But all of that takes into account every individual person's willpower. But if you do the warrior diet as I do and you want to be as effective as possible to move the weight loss, then this is what you want to do. Break your fast as late as you can in the day. Try to break your fast late in the day, closer to when you're about to go to sleep. So why are you saying that, Edward? Why are you telling me to break my fast before I go to sleep? I want to break my fast early in the morning. Why are you telling me to break it at night? Here's the thing, and this doesn't have anything to do with the circadian rhythm and all that stuff. This has something to do with one thing. When your insulin is low, what ends up happening is your body fat gets tapped into. Now, this is completely understood. We understand this in the scientific community. This isn't a battle or debate between calories in versus calories out. This is simply explaining what happens to your body when your insulin drops. Now, how do you drop your insulin? If you don't eat at all, your insulin will drop because you're not consuming any calories. You're not consuming any type of foods, any type of macros. So your insulin will drop. Your insulin doesn't have to do anything because what insulin is, it moves glucose through the bloodstream and then distributes it throughout the parts of your body that need it, your brain, your muscle, your heart, and all this stuff, your body fat for storage so that you can function as a human being. So that's what insulin does. Insulin is just like, it goes up so that the glucose can move in your body. Now, if you're not eating, if you're not doing any of that, then guess what? There's no glucose to move in your body. And then guess what? Your insulin doesn't have to go up. And then guess what? Your body fat gets tapped into. When your insulin rises, your body fat is being blocked from coming out. The insulin is literally creating a wall to keep your body fat from coming out. You cannot burn body fat, specifically body fat. We're not talking about calories. You can burn calories at any time if you're at caloric deficit. But where is those calories coming from? You want it to come from body fat. You can't do it if your insulin is up. So if you're burning calories throughout the day and you're doing it because you're going to work in the morning, you're going to work in the afternoon, you go to the gym early, you go to the gym in the afternoon, most of the stuff that you're doing, or actually everything that you do, is going to be done earlier. Unless you work overnight, then you flip what I'm doing right now. You flip everything that I'm saying. All your activity, all of those calories that you're burning, your insulin being down, a lot of the calories that you're going to burn are going to come from body fat, because your insulin is dropped. So body fat is what's going to be tapped into in that instance. Then when you eat at night, then you go to sleep, you wake up and you're already in a fasted state. And then going to sleep is when you're doing the least amount of activities. You're sleeping, you're not even moving. So your insulin is up during the time when you're not going to be burning much calories anyways, or you're not going to be burning the most calories that you'll be burning throughout the day. Move everything to the nighttime. If you eat later in the day, as late as you can, kind of before you're about to go to sleep, something like 9 to 12, have a 4-hour eating window of like 9 to 12 or 8 to 11, 7 to 10, something in that range. And then you just go to sleep, at a normal time, 12 or 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock or 10, whenever you guys go to sleep, and then you'll be sleeping. And guess what? The beauty of it is that you'll wake up in a fasted state, as it only takes roughly about 6 hours to get into that fasted state. So you can start the whole process all over again with your insulin, dropped. Now, the next thing that I'm going to focus on is still based on the hormonal effects that assist you in burning body fat. Now, the beauty of intermittent fasting, because all these hormonal things are happening, you are creating a better platform for you to burn body fat. If you want to keep enhancing that and keep your insulin as low as possible, lower your carb intake as much as possible. Now, I'm not saying to do the ketogenic diet, although you can do the ketogenic diet. That is completely and entirely up to you. It will definitely assist you because you're lowering your carbs and you're increasing your fats. If you want to keep your insulin low, because remember, insulin moves glucose, so the lower your glucose intake is, the better. So if you eliminate sugar, if you eliminate carbs, because carbs turn into sugar, if you eliminate that macro and eliminate those things as much as you can, you will keep your insulin as low as you can during the feeding time. Now, granted, your insulin still can go up with protein and it still can go up with fats, still can go up, but it won't go up as high as it does if you take in sugar and carbs. So you can eat all the other macros without a problem, the way you want to eat them. Try to reduce your carb intake as much as you can to keep your insulin low so that you can further tackle your body fat even more, even when you're eating, even when you're in a feeding state, so that you're constantly in this rhythm of just burning body fat or having access to burning body fat at all times. Another thing that I want to add is ensuring that you're doing your workouts in a fasted state. It's better to do them during the fasted state because when you're burning most of your calories, you want to make sure that your insulin is low. And I understand that a lot of fitness people will tell you it doesn't really matter if you fast while you're working out. It doesn't really matter if you have food in your stomach when you're working out. It'll all balance itself out when it's all said and done. The problem with so many fitness people, especially those that push against the intermittent fasting protocol, is that they never take into account the hormonal aspect of intermittent fasting. They never take that into account. They do simple math. Literally, they do simple math. They just do 2 + 2 = 4. What's the point of doing 2 + 2 at 12 o'clock when 2 + 2 at 9 o'clock equals the same amount? 4. But our bodies are not that simple. Calories do not simply mean body fat. Calories mean muscle. Calories mean glucose. Calories mean body fat. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to set a scenario where you're burning exactly what you want to burn. You don't want to burn muscle. You don't really care to burn glycogen, as that goes in your body and can come out of your body very easily. You care to burn body fat. And like I said, insulin has to be down. So if your insulin is low, when is it the best time to work out, sir and ma'am? When you're in a fasted state. So being in a fasted state when you're going to the gym is absolutely helpful if you're doing the warrior diet for maximum efficiency, for maximum weight loss. So there you have it, guys. Eat later in the day. Try to eliminate carbs so you can keep your insulin as low as possible during your feeding times, and try to work out in a fasted state. You do those 3 things consistently while utilizing the warrior diet, I can guarantee you that you, my friend, will be doing the warrior diet as efficiently as possible, and you'll be losing a lot of body fat, which is the most important thing. Not just losing weight, but losing body fat specifically. Thank you guys, and of course I want to thank my patrons for my Patreon, because you guys are awesome. You support me and I love you guys. So your names are going to come up right here. And I'll see you guys on Sunday for another FAQ.